Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone and a very good morning to all my students. Okay, so now, this is the last chapter. Okay, the last chapter for this syllabus. Okay, so chapter 8, securities offense. All right, so we are going to look into what are the securities offense that may occur in the Malaysian financial market. Check it out. Okay, so under the content, of for this topic is number one, some are the offenses dealing in securities, which is under Capital Market Services Act 2007. And then we will look into the number 2, which is designated securities. Okay, and the number 3 is corner. Okay, so these are also the offenses. Okay, and then we will look into the penalties for those contravention, and as well as the other offenses. Okay, lastly, we will look into the compensation fund. Okay, so the learning outcomes for this chapter is to explain the offences dealings in securities, and the number 2, to describe the penalties for contravention. Okay, okay, before that we will look into the 2 irregular market action. Okay, so we have limit up and limit down. Okay, so what is limit up and what is limit down? Okay, limit up, is a situation when Bursa Malaysia will suspend the counters when the market price of a share appreciates, by more than 30% from the closing price of the previous trading session. Okay, while limit down, is when Bursa Malaysia will suspend the counters when the share price, depreciate. Okay, so depreciate by more than 30% from the closing price of the previous trading session. Okay, so if you look into the definition between limit up and limit down, the differences is just limit up is appreciate, while limit down will depreciate. Okay, so this is a situation, when there is some offenses that may occur in the market. For example, maybe manipulation, or maybe insider trading or so on, all right, occurs in the market, and it will directly, affect to the stock price, because as we know that the stock price will go up or go down, or we call it as the fluctuation of the stock price, depends on the news. Share price is very sensitive to the news, events, rumors, and so on. So if this happen, either the stock price increase or appreciates, or stock price decrease or depreciates by more than 30% from the previous closing price. So Bursa Malaysia will suspend. Suspend means that will stop. Bursa Malaysia will stop the share trading. Okay, Bursa Malaysia has the what we call authority to stop the trading. Okay, because Bursa Malaysia will make sure, okay, that the stock price will go into the normal price, or maybe appreciate or depreciate by less than 30%. Okay. Okay, now we look into the offences dealing in securities under Capital Markets Services Act 2007. Okay, so number one is issuing false or misleading statement. Okay, this is under SIA. Okay, Industry Act. Okay, in Section 86. Right. So, a person who makes statements that contains false or misleading information that is likely to affect the price of securities in the stock market, or is likely to induce the sale of purchase or securities by another person. Okay. Number two is fraudulent inducements to deal in securities. Okay, so a person should also not make or publish any misleading, false, or deceptive statement or forecast, or dishonestly conceal material facts with fraudulent intent to induce other persons to deal in securities. Okay, number three is insider trading. Okay, so what is insider trading? Okay, so an officer, agent, or employee of a corporation, or an officer of a stock exchange, okay, should not, in dealings in the securities of a corporation, make improper use of specific confidential information, okay, which is may acquired by his position to gain an advantage for himself or any other persons. Okay. Number four, short selling. This is under SIA section 41. Okay. A short sale is the sale of a security that is not owned at the time of the transaction. Okay, a short seller engage in a sell transaction first, okay, in anticipation of a fall price, okay, with the intention of buying the securities up at a lower price in order to collect the gain from the difference between the buying and selling price. Okay, so for your information, short selling activities is prohibited in Malaysian market. Okay, next we look into the stock market manipulation, which is under SIA section 85. Okay, so what is stock market manipulation? Okay, so it is an offense for a person to affect or take part in two or more transactions in any securities of a corporation that will or is likely to have the effect of raising, lowering, or maintaining the securities price on the stock market. Okay, with the intention to induce other person to purchase or sell the stock securities of the corporation or the securities of a related corporation. Okay. And lastly, we have false trading and market rigging, which is under SIA in section 84. Okay. You may look into some of the circumstances, okay, under false trading and market rigging. Okay. from your textbook, from your manual book. Okay. All right. So a person takes part in any of the following activities with the intention of creating a false or misleading appearance of active trading, or a false or misleading appearance, okay, with a report to the market for all the prices of any securities on the stock market. Okay. Okay, now we go to the designated securities. Okay, from the name, okay, we must understand that designated securities is the securities itself, the stock itself, or we call it as a listed counter. Okay, is declared as designated securities if there has been manipulation or excessive speculation on such listed counter. Okay. Okay, so what are the actions taken for the designated securities? Okay, number one, we have imposed a margin of cover on all dealings in the counter. And then number two, restrict the dealings in the counter to immediate or prompt bargains. Okay, number three, restrict a stockbroking firm straight in the counter. Okay, and number four, prohibit any sale on the counter. Okay, unless the seller delivers the share script together with the duly executed transfer form. Okay. Okay, now we go to the corner. What is corner? Okay, so a corner situation is created in a counter when an individual or group buys up large amounts of the stock. Okay, such that they can control and manipulate the price of the shares in the market. Okay, so how the corner been created? Okay, so these market manipulators will lend the share scripts to short sellers and then withdraw the scripts so that the short sellers are forced to buy them at the prices dictated, as they are not able to get the scripts from the market. Okay, so a corner is created when a single interest or group has acquired such control of the affected securities. Okay, so such operation is possible on the shares of companies, okay, with relatively small paid-up capital. Okay, all right, so these are the actions taken for corner. Okay, so number one is postpone the date of delivery of the share script. Okay, and number two is further postpone the date of delivery. Okay, number three, declare that if the share scripts are still not delivered on any contract, okay, so the contract shall be settled not by delivery. Okay, so we will look into the price difference and so on. All right. Okay, so these are the penalties for contravention. Okay, so under the provisions of the SIA, so a person, okay, that are penalized for any offences in the dealing securities, okay, or involving in the improper dealing in securities, okay, they will be fined with RM 1 million ringgit or 10 years imprisonment or both. Okay. Okay, so now we have come into the last topic for this chapter. All right. So Bursa Compensation Fund, okay, is created by the Bursa Malaysia for the purpose of helping the investors, person or maybe stockbroking companies that face the difficulties, okay, due to the offences that created by the other parties. Okay, so you may refer to your manual book, okay, about the process of claimant, some of the Q&A about the compensation fund. Okay. Okay, everyone. So now we have come into the end of chapter 8 as well as to the end of our syllabus. So I hope that everyone, okay, understand, okay, and also do your extra revisions, do your short notes or maybe mind map, okay, which may help you in answering your final examination. Okay, so I hope that everyone, okay, will get some benefits from this topic, this subject. Okay, and you may use the information and so on when you are going to do your, or maybe you are going to exercise the share trading, investment, and so on. Okay, so I hope that everyone um, will get the colorful results, not just for this topic or this subject, okay, but for the other subjects as well. Okay, thank you everyone and good luck.